Hey kitties, welcome to 420 chat time. I'm here today in my studio, and I thought you would find this of interest. This book is like a really, what you might call the beginning. 1987, we basically would write songs in this manner, where we would take note of what instrument and then the particular sounds that would go with it, and then that would correspond to our MIDI file. And this would be our method of how we would compose. I believe that this was, of course, at the very beginning of when we first started with a computer. So I'm going to say this would be a purple Lego. This would be right at around the time of Vivisect. Pitbull, you guys have heard Pitbull here. Piss Smoke. You should hear Piss Smoke. Flu. Haunting. We all know, we've heard that one. Driller, this would have been the working title, rough working title for Harsh Stone White off Vivisect. So S900 used a disc called Captain Crunch, Emax Moog Multibass, Mixty Bass, ESQ, blah blah blah, the Mirage, and they hooked us up with a MIDI file, and basically could then go on to use it. 16th of December 1987. It was pretty good for making notes, but now, years later, it's very interesting because I can go in and kind of like, ask myself, well, what is the exact sound that I used in Texture? There it is. The ESQ PEC VD was the classic bell sound in Texture. The strings. These S900 discs that we made were all custom to each song. And there's State of AIDS, Serpents, Hospital Waste, VX Gas Attack, Dog Shit, Noise My Face, Fuck Off. Some of these songs I'm going to put them up and see, what they are. This is a Who's Laughing Now. And I found one on here the other day, which I found was kind of interesting. Kind of a popular song for Skinny Puppy. It was called... What was it called again? It's called Warlock. And so what I did was that I really was interested in having a sound on one of my new songs. Here it is, here. Warlock. So, it says S900 Warlock's disc. So I went and found it, and I wanted to have the white noise crash. There's the disc, Warlocks, and this is corresponding specifically to the S900. If I was to come up here and go to my MIDI library, you can see that I can pull up the S900 there, and then most of these sounds, if I'm able to trigger them here, should show up. Let's see here. Huh. I know why. I didn't choose the channel. So, I was looking for was this white noise crash. There was also a sound that So you can see how the samples were all laid out on singular keys, and then typically I would hand drum it. And thus you can capture the original elements of what would have been Warlock. So that's kind of like how we go about it. There's the palm of my hand, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, it's sparker time. To those of you in the studio that have a sparker, it's time. Today we're going to talk about the new album. I'm looking at the question here. I'm so blind I can't even read anymore. Simon, hello. Devin, hello. Devin, hello. Okay, so now we're midway in on the album, and it's kind of been one of those days where I have been tracking modulars and doing the things on the album that are in the last minute. I think I've done 5 mixes now for the album, and I've worked on, first of all, most of the ones that have guests, especially guests with vocals. So I have I'm so happy to say that I have Edward Caspell on a couple of songs, as well as Chris Corner, as well as Otto von Schirach. And then I'm also collaborating with my good friend Dre, Omar Torres, and then some of the Patreon guys have come on a track, and it's turning out nice. I'm really liking the way this album is turning out so far. It's been a while because the last album I made was Unknown Room, and then losing Phil was kind of like a drag about even coming in the studio. So I was kind of like thinking, I don't know, I wasn't thinking much good stuff, that's for sure. But now I think I'm at a much better place, and it's been a year, and I'm focusing on this album as being like my big healing moment. So it's been quite choice for that. Some of you may obviously know some of the songs that are on the album, and the cool thing is that they're changing with the final versions, of course, with vocals and so on like that. So I'm kind of excited about that. The next thing I'm excited about to talk about with you guys is BRAP. BRAP is something that you guys know that we've been working on for a long time. The prototype is here on the left. This is the original hand-built prototype, made with all sorts of hand-built goodies. The one on the right is the PCB version, which has been turned into its form, where this will then be taken and made into a unit that will be available for release. The cool thing is
is the challenge was to make this one sound as good or better than the prototype. The prototype won many fans who played it. I swear anybody who came here and played it, within a few seconds they turned white. Their pulse started to increase. I could tell by the looks in their eyes that they were like feeling a connection. And the exact same thing happened to me with it. It's a box that it has a certain sound that I've never had with any synth that I've owned. It's just got this weird thing where you can connect with it. And the best way to do that is to probably play some for you. I know you've probably heard it before, but